is one that is bread and butter for them, right? Gideon loves his Sejuani. KazaLoLL has been a very good Yone. Kingan's a great Gwen. You have the Permafrost synergy there, and also you have Lehens on Engage, and there's a lot of setup here. There's a lot of explosive pick potential as well. If the
a little bit of a rough spot.
Like they're like Lehens is over here.
They're closing in, and there's the flash forward. Lehens may have found the only window to get in there, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The seismic shove pulls back the Rel. He's headbutted under the turret. He knows there is no way he's getting out of that one.
One, KT was on an insane losing streak.
Yeah.
And then they turned it around. It was crazy.
Remember, this team only barely made it into the Legend group, and they beat Humble Life Esports.
Yeah, and almost beat Gen G, by the way.
Yeah. The equalizer going to go down here as Kingan taking a few ticks of it.
No flash, he might just be dead here.
Oh dear, the heat is stacking up. The flame spitter, there it is! Solo kill for Perfect, and Peter is looking for something on the other side. BDD to catch up to him, and the flick back onto Lehens will spell the death of the horse pants lady. That is going to be... It may just continue. These Void Grubs are going to be the first ones to go down as Lehens looks for a bit of an angle. That's a decent pulverize to try and help him out, but doesn't get Gideon over the wall, and Gideon is just going to take Gideon coming over. Peter spots out Lehens, and now they're looking for the angle. The Magnastorm connects onto two as Doctorm is the target. Peter's getting rid of the rest of them though, and it's only Lehens that was able to get on top of the AD carry. Chains of Corruption goes wide, and the unbreakable will of Peter is unfortunately going to be broken as he does get a little bit of a headbutt off, but Juice still going to be able to take him down. At least a flash, and he does get that. Never mind the turnaround coming on in. The equalizer is pretty beautifully placed, but Gideon throws out the Glacial Prison. BDD create the positioning. Peter with the headbutt. Actually beautifully done.
Break wasn't up yet, so Nongshim couldn't capitalize it. Now to 2-Dragon lead here. Let's find out what Soul. Another Chemtech.
See, I knew it.
Peter, but unfortunately BDD does have the TP in live. Perfect is just getting away from a bit of aggression there from Kingan, but...
And wow,
well,
it's going to be the counter solo kill as the snip comes in. Not quite enough. Speaking of not quite enough, KazaLoLL's able to get himself out of there with a sliver of health, but Lehens, I don't think he's going to be so lucky. He throws out the Magnet Storm to try and hold Peter in place.
This race, though, I don't think. Even with the grubs, Trundle hitting that pretty hard. Equalizer gets dropped down here as well. They're not even going to get it. Nope. And bottom side, the turret does go over that.
Into this brush, make things frustrating, but they don't have a lot of vision. There are 5 people of Nongshim.
But see a steal.
Yeah, the rotation up is coming on through here as there's the knock up onto Kaz, and they just burst him down. No subjugation even available. As now Kingan dashing around the fight. BDD catches out Geo on the offside, and he just throws a huge rock at Lehens. Geo able to flash his way out, but BDD's flashing after him. Doctorm and Peter trying to keep themselves alive as KazaLoLL starting to go bonkers in this Herald pit. And now Perfect has turned up. This Flame Spitter is so scary. 3 versus 2 as Nongshim look to run away. They did manage to get themselves a Rift Herald. There is a positive in this play, but the positives for KT are looking like
anyways, and KT are looking for a play here in mid.
Peter is just constantly going for these plays. Go for a little bit of a siege. I don't know whether they're going to be getting it here as Kingan's going to be moving in. Peter wanting to try and peel him as best he can. The headbutt's being utilized. The trample as well is so good at buying so much time. Needlework coming on through, but there it is. Chains of Corruption with the follow-up, and down goes the Gwen. The flash headbutt as Gideon is pulled out of position, and Peter dies. But he's Dancing Grenade going to be helping out. Seismic Shove, no crash down for you, Lehens, as the Chains of Corruption comes in. Peter able to headbutt him around, and Lehens nowhere to go. Aftershock not helping even a little bit, and the Otacon is going to be coming up.
Turn this into an Otacon. Contesting this will be a challenge.
Oh, Flash just going to get BDD out there. Yep. And so KazaLoLL shows himself on the top side of the map. That is going to mean that this Otacon does go down. Gideon tries his best, but it does
long range follow-up is Gideon. I don't know about this, man.
I don't know about that one either. We get the zoom in onto Peter, who didn't get the headbutt down. That's okay. As Kingan, he's diving forward. The equalizer positioning on top of the kennel is gorgeous, but the Gwen is able to... But never mind! The piercing arrow as Doctor makes his presence known. It's a double kill for the Varus. And
a single one of those is Duckdom, the sniper, 7 kills on this Varus is going to take on the equalizer. Maybe there's an angle, but KT aren't flubbing so far.
Yep. That equalizer was, I guess, a little bit of a flub, but I don't think Perfect needs it to kill Kingan, and he indeed definitely does not. Him and Peter going to be easily able to take him down as the outer turret going to fall soon after. 18-6.
Maybe a bounty on the cards here?
Oh, potentially. KazaLoLL there towards that bottom side. Utilizing those 3 grubs that they did manage to pick up feels like a distant memory here for Nongshim fans. And do you know where the cope comes from, Wolf?
Where?
The cope comes from talking about KT as a team And do you know what a beautifully played game like this means? That means that there are a lot of people at home thinking that KT are perhaps a very good team, which could be worrying for the next few games. In goes Peter, seismic shove, gonna pull back Gideon. They are just, it's a hive mind for KT here as they set up the CC on the table for this team if they would like it.
Cuz didn't even ult Gideon. He's like, well, he's caught, man, it's done, it's over. I don't even need to take his
They do manage to take the soul. That is Chemtech soul for Cuz. And so this Trundle will not be killed. I don't think, again, in this game, as Lehens will. He is looking to go down right about now. BDD at melee range with everyone, but he's so far ahead it does not matter. That's perfect down there coming from the enemy base.
So you mentioned it, and I think it was a really good call out. This almost could have been blind pick for these two teams, right? In terms of what they love to play, what they've been playing leading up to this game.
I mean, it definitely looked blind pick for Nongshim.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like he's really good at or perfect playing his best champion Rumble. They took away from Kingin. Kingin went for the Gwen or anything like that. No. It's just anyone would have won. It could have been me, Atlas.
It's not going to be Lehens. Lehens just walked over 1,000,000 wards and is now probably in trouble. Cuz is just walking away from everyone. He's down to 50% health though. Might need to subjugate that one back. As the wall goes down, the shove connects onto Gideon and he is just eliminated. Equalizer to stop anyone from escaping. Kingin gonna go down. There is the heroic play from Calyx into the back line. It looked really cute. It looked really cool. But ultimately he dies and this is gonna be the ace for KT. Perfect. Might be dying for the first time, but never mind. There's a pillar. There's a pulverize. There is a cow in pajamas. And KT are looking for game one.
That is the end of that, Atlas. 12,000 goal lead at the end. A sub-28-minute game here, faster than average, and KT making it look easy there. But I kind of like the Seraphine more because it almost feels like it's a really strong lane bully, but also has a lot of rotational power and is kind of like budget Renata with the ultimate. You know, they look for the dive, you look for the charm, for the counter engage. Well, the Tom Kench will do something very different.
But his Caitlyn has been all right in the past.
Duckdom doesn't have Shiv yet. Oh, Peter's looking for a gank.
Oh dear, we don't find the snare. Hookshot does come on down. The exhaust though, Peter wanting to commit to this one as he gets the gobble and takes another turret shot. Don't know about that one, but still going to find a tongue lash and the knock up not quite going to work out. Kingin still looking for it, but does not get it. Peter stays alive and that is first blood going
holds. They see him, they ping him as he walks over this ward. And honestly, even Gideon being here is a little bit greedy.
Well, Gideon is going to find BDD, just trying to stop him from heading
15.5 minutes. Feels like we're already watching late game Senna Scion, and we're not quite through the mid game just yet.
Great game, right? It's really nice. We are going to be having a bit of focus on the game here as Jew in a little bit of trouble. Lehens comes in with the flash heal to keep him alive. But Cuz still in the area.
Okay, hold up, Cuz?
Yeah, looking for an angle. Realm Warp to come down here as the BDD Peter special delivery gets him right on top of them. Duckdom to take down Lehens. Jew's health bar is non-existent, and Kingin, he has hookshot. That's one heck of an ability, but BDD locks down. The Dawning Shadow blind takes down the Caitlyn, and the train's like, where are my customers? No one's ready to take a ride. They're on the death chamber.
They already died. KT! This is insane! The leads we are seeing, the early game we are seeing, I think a little bit of a flub from Nongshim in some elements of this game, but KT are just on form right now. They're going to get the soul point of the Chemtech soul because, as I was going to mention, Chronicler's just, I guess he's the one who wants Chemtech soul. We figured it out.
Yeah, he loves Chemtech soul,
man. Baited Ox into a card game the whole 3. Although I guess 2 out of 3 on the new patch.
I mean, technically, it is kind of...
It is an objective. Never mind. It's not a perfect game.
I don't really like it. Anyway, Perfect is moving in. Soul Furnace explodes for so much damage. Lehens in so much trouble here. As Duckdom, he finds it with that last auto, then flashes on top of Q. Duckdom is out of control today as he's flashing forward, going for these big plays. Kingin looking to try and deny that theoretical pseudo-perfect game. And it's the Scion that's going to look to stop it. Otacon on the menu here for KT, and there it is. Kingin is just going to ruin the debate forever, as taking a turret is definitely going to take the perfect game away.
I mean, they're losing this Otacon, though. At least he got some bounty gold for his team, I suppose, as Gideon is trying to catch this mid-wave as a jungler, as the enemy team is doing Otacon. If that doesn't show you the game state, I don't know what will. Fans at home, I think a lot of people probably looking at that 5,000 gold lead, and they think that's the real story, but it's a center comp. Well, the Scion, that's 14.
Think about it, they divvied up too many stats towards Peter. Too powerful now.
I thought after watching yesterday's series, that there wasn't going to be another best of 5 that could be anywhere close to as one-sided, but KT said, hold my keyboard.
Yeah, they did. Not that Peter even needs a keyboard. I was listening yesterday, and apparently he just clicks everything, and it's all just fine. As that's 2 turrets going down on the top side of the map. KT kind of milling about in the meantime here towards the bottom lane, as they do get the crash in the bottom lane as well. But that is a lot of objective bounties going over, and the gold lead isn't massive.
Ooh, TP flank here as well from Calyx.
Oh, we were perhaps getting too enthusiastic, as never mind, Perfect's on a pretty good angle here, but so is King and Calyx alongside him. But can they get to the rest of the team before they're all dead? Gideon moving over, Lehens is out of the fight already, and Gio is going absolutely nowhere. Gideon's flashed in. Kingen gonna get knocked away momentarily, but the Devour keeps Doctom alive. The teleport in, Cuz trying to escape, as the Hextech ultimatum's down onto him, as Kingen trying to get out. He will do so, and BDD is looking to try and kill Calyx and then kill Kingen immediately afterwards. And look, he's succeeded.
I mean, KT, even when it looks like maybe they've been caught, maybe they've overextended. I mean, they weren't getting a ton of value in their pushes. 2 turrets went down, tons of bounty gold. The teleport flank is a bust, and I think this game may just be at the beginning of its end.
Oh dear. There is the dodge from Doctom, and yeah, once he's shot him once, he is just dead.
I mean, he's practically gotten 20 stacks in the last 3 minutes here, and that's the inhibitor.
He is, he's trying to walk his way out. They do have the gravity well, and the Dark Binding is decent, but oh god, there's too many KT members. And we haven't seen KT obliterate someone like this in at least 20 hours.
Yeah. Perfect is probably fine.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's never going to die. BDD might. Never mind. He's got Doctom. He's a healer. And Lehens is really dead. Calyx is going to have to meet Cuz here as well, who charged up the knockup. And there it is.
Just in there suffering, KT. I can't watch any more of this.
Yeah, this is so
This is actually painful.
It's 9,000 gold the lead at 26 minutes. They won the game at 28 minutes in game number 1. As Peter dives his way out of there, Kingen going to try and take him down. They're going to look to ignore the Scion, which might be a good strategy. They'll turn, though, as Gio able to pump some shots into him. The ultimate just back up now, and perfect into them. He's absolutely insane, charging up the Q, but Gio's able to kite this one out. This is taking way too long, guys. It's kind of absurd, as he eats a cupcake and now looks for more. What are we doing, KT? What was that? They're winning the game!
Perfect. Oh, the trap!
Oh, the trap, but he had Soul Furnace anyway. He wasn't going to die, but KT is still going to win this game.
So squishy into a comp that will blow you up, but that you know, requires a lot of things to go your way. And you can't even see the Recon engage because the Nocturne ultimate is coming out, makes it a little bit more difficult to play around that Recon flank, depending on how Peter plays it. I feel like it looks like Gideon's got the full stacks for that extra stun.
Yep, only level 3 here for Perfect as well, as BDD is solo killed underneath his turret. That's kind of insane. The flash forward from Perfect, he's trying to go for it here, and he finds the 2v1. It is still going to be followed up, but that is a brilliant outcome.
Yep. No contest. I mean, they're kind of in the area, but does not have enough oomph to stop this one.
Well, Perfect is going for a wraparound here, and they turn the lights off. They're going for the cannon, the flash forward to guarantee the fear, as in comes Gideon, but Perfect is just playing defense while Kingen is getting taken down lower and lower. Still, he does manage to make it out, and there's no flash on Perfect. He doesn't have the dice, didn't get that one activated, and the cocoon placement is so good. The last couple of them.
And I want to see what happens when KT doesn't have a lead. How do they respond?
Yep, Sly's going to come on through there, as he at least has his Merc Treads done. Now with the Dominus and the teleport coming in, Perfect looking to stand his ground. Will get stunned up as the flash forward to try and lock down Lehens, and he just explodes.
Reset.
Yeah, now BDD with that reset.
Kingen has flash and ult, and Perfect may die, even though BDD is waiting.
Yep. Lehens does find that cocoon, as there is the Dominus.
Oh,
keep Perfect alive, and oh, it was all a bait! And look at all of the health with that Cull the Meek. That was kind of massive, but Gideon comes down. BDD now running for the hills as Cuz finally gets in. Didn't actually press the button. I think he was out of range to actually join
in a row that we will have here in our road to MSI. But
the flash! BDD, he did kind of connect the charm. That
it's Ocean!
Weird.
And from getting anywhere near it, so much farm is being lost. As Renekton falling further and further behind. Perfect trying for something.
Yeah, looking to dive on top here as he's going lower and lower. The cocoon going to go wide this time, as BDD getting a lot of value out of that true damage. They just want to get towards the turret. Oh, the blade caller comes through and Doctom! He He gets the 1v1 against Jude. That was sick, flashes everywhere. And the Spiderling's gonna tank up the charm. Another paranoia comes in as Peter gets the quickness and he stays alive. Kaz gets into the back line and now he's looking to rend them down. KazaLoLLCShighlights comes in, he's got a bear in tow and he's looking scary, but oh, the instant interrupt of that crocodile was ready to go ballistic, but they had the slicing maelstrom, and Nongshim this time have some answers.
I mean, it's always one step forward, but two steps back here. The fact that KT's getting these steps though is huge.
Oh my god, okay, BDD.
BDD, what the hell?
This game needs to calm
Some of these defensive fights, Duckdom getting the solo defensive kill topside feels massive because now he's got to go. And live.
Oh, and we've got more fighting as KT in a great position here. Two just explode, and the charm is going to connect. BDD is now looking to get these resets and get out. Oh, the orb of deception he prepared earlier is gorgeously placed. True Shot Barrage is going to soften them up, and BDD has another charge available. Gio needs to be careful as Peter looking for an angle. Tanks up the turret momentarily. They're going to take this one down, and BDD is going to look for the charm. Was actually expecting Gio to try and escape, and instead, Gio just kills him. And now Perfect is trying to slice his way out of the way of the bear. And the
side pressure he had into the Renekton as Gideon's coming up for a play, but KT are matching.
Yeah, they're going to get here, and the Paranoia is going to start this one off. The Slicing Maelstrom goes down, but he's tanking the turret, and he just gets wiped out. Gideon puts up the shield as KazaLoLLCS, he can't get in, and they've singled out the jungler. BDD gets it. Another reset to come in here as he dives up.
KT were ready for them. It feels like they've just read Nongshim like a book in all these scenarios across all three games.
It's just rubbed off, you know, it's like you got a tattoo and unfortunately
it was a henna!
It was a fake tattoo. Gideon takes a bit of true damage there from the Orb of Deception as well, as Duckdom looking to chase after them.
Kaz just ults on Dragon to make it so they can't actually follow up on BDD. Are you hiding for them or are they hiding for you?
Oh dear, well, the Spider's gonna go up and then comes down again, and now the Paranoia comes out yet again. Gideon trying to find a target here, but they've already lost one, and look at these health bars melt. Kaz looking to try and get out of there. Gideon's baited forward because he just wants anything, and he will be denied. Perfect will get taken down as Gio able to find yet another missing shot. What was that arcane shift? That was insanity. The charm hits, and he is cut down where he stands. The ace comes in as Duckdom locks up a triple. He's 5-0-4, undying in this game as this Xayah, and they'll take an Otacon, and then whatever the heck else they...
I guess the summer of KT came a little bit early this season, Atlas, because we don't have summer season anymore, but we're still at the halfway point. We haven't started rounds 3 yet. They made it to the Legend group, but this team is on fire. I thought for sure with the leads that Nongshim had early, I thought for sure with Perfect's deficit, that at worst case scenario, if KT had the miracle comeback, at least it wasn't going to be a one-sided game, but in fact...
And BDD comes in, the Paranoia goes down as well as he gets over the wall, does BDD, and Strybreaker's in for Kaz. They'll find the charm onto everyone because Peter's able to lock them all down. He won't be able to escape this time, and Gio does create some distance. Featherstorm used mainly defensively, but Perfect gets in there. KazaLoLLCS goes down. Gio now trying to kite as best he can, and Kingen not going to be doing anything here. Lehens finally shows up, gets a cocoon onto BDD, who gets over and looks for Gio. Gio gets the shutdown, and now Perfect is just going to cut him down. And so it was almost...
Well, like they're playing perfectly.
Yep. Speaking of Perfect, he's going to dive in on top of Gideon, and I don't think Gideon's going to be going anywhere. Finally, the Nocturne shows up as Jude puts the Arcane Shift on cooldown. He does get feared, Kaz taking some damage, but he just walks his way out. The footwork here from Gio is actually working, but unfortunately he does not have a team anywhere else on the map. And now they're going to close in on him. The flash forward from Perfect and does get the stun. They get the knock up, and there is another ace for KT. This time it's clean, and this time I think it's just stamped themselves a ticket to Busan.
Yeah, they're going to have to wait for this wave, which will buy some time here, but it's going to be Pantheon and Elise that come up first here, and this team of KT Rolster is just so fed. They just don't care. They're looking to go in, take this inhibitor out, and fish for a pick. Lehens, what can you do alone? 4 levels down on Peter in this game. 6 deaths on the Elise.
Oh, it's
clear the wave.
Ridiculous. They are just going to try and clear the wave as best they can. His one last minion is going to be coming through, but now Lehens doing some funny business. You walking out
TP
through the
flank.
base gates, okay. The health bars are somewhat...
Unfortunately, just doesn't have the damage to look for anything there onto Perfect. That's going to be sole point here for KT.
Shot Barrage picks the gap, and Gideon was he just wanted to do some alcove gaming. In goes Kaz. They are going to kill the Pantheon, who does dive on top of BDD, but
he didn't have
just
ult.
Gonna die.
just 10 seconds away. I think his game plan was to hide and try to ult for the steal, and then look for the 3-man to push for an inhib. Like that was the plan.
You get to steal. The rest of them are on the bottom side of the map, taking an inner.
Exactly, but now it's just going to be defensive Baron minions that help defend this push. They do get the bounty on this inner, but that's all they're going to get. Geo looks for it.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage is just going to help them. And so Kaz and Doctom will be able to take this one down, level 16.
2023, where they were the first seed.
Yep. And so they are going to be heading, most likely, to Busan. We'll see if it's on the back of Peter's play here as, yeah, the Elise goes up and does get taken out once again. Perfect, going to be able to lock that one up, but it is just a kill on the Elise for now. There might be another fight in Nongshim. 25 seconds until Lehens is back up yet again. 1 and 8, though, on the Elise. BDD just putting together his Forbidden Book. And yep, in they go once again. BDD turns back up again with that new thing bought from the library. And Tibbers is going to go down as an afterthought. Gideon also falling. And Kingin, yeah, he built a rage plate, but that's mainly because of his feelings, ladies and gentlemen. Nexus turret number 2 going to be taken out, and KT back-to-back clean sweeps to bring them to a telecom war in Busan. 6.
If they play like this, I think for T1, you were probably going into Busan thinking, I've got to really be honing in on Genji Hanwha. I'm really looking forward to that series. I want to see who gets that first seed, look at what the abuse was of the weaknesses of the team that loses, and focus on that, because the Nongshim/KT/D+ series felt like it was going to be a shoo-in. But now, you're starting to feel a little bit nervous about coming up against this guy, because BDD's form right now versus Faker, he is looking like by far the better mid laner right now. We'll see what Faker's form is in Busan, but this is a scary player to face right now.
And so now, because like what I need to see is BDD versus Chovy, especially after Cloud Templar's comment yesterday, where he said that this was like one of the greatest mid lane performances of all time. Well, I mean, we could remind him of Chovy decimating BDD in one of the most dominant mid lane performances of all time. And so maybe some revenge. Maybe we could see whether that has perhaps changed, but that will take a few things to happen. Hanwha would have to win, and then KT would have to win the telecom war to bring us to that final. As Linkus and Sajak are going to be actually on the space, hanging out, giving their opinions on the LCK and what they're going to be fighting for and they want to face. Things like this. It's going to be fun.
We also have a full team interview with KT Rolster as well, so it's going to be a lot of really cool content for you guys, because today was a little bit on the shorter side again here. KT are just speed running this road to MSI.
Yeah, we might actually have the longest episode of the POG State prepared for you as well, because we've got loads of extra time now and we're going to be recording it afterwards. So yeah, I think it's, you know, it's kind of okay that it was a quick day, but a little bit sad for the Nongshim fans because that wasn't the greatest. But I believe we are heading towards the interview very, very soon. Just going to have to wait for all of the KT players to get in line and get in order so that we can have a chat about this run. They've now got 4 days as well to prepare for their next match. 5 days, I guess, technically, if you take away the
4 days until the travel day,
Yep. So I'm looking forward to seeing what KT are actually going to say, because I imagine that they are going to be confident, but these first 2 matches are not going to be the same as what they're going to be experiencing in Busan, I don't think.
I'm just excited to have a new player in our top of the LCK. Like, we have this whole new team that we don't know what the ceiling is, because I thought I saw it yesterday, and I was like, I'm not excited. I mean, you know, D+ made some errors. Similar story here with Nongshim, but I don't know, man. I saw that 3rd game, and that's what makes you a little bit interested in what this team will do in Busan.
Exactly, and so we're not getting E-word. It's absolutely fine, and it's time for us to now throw it over to the interview with KT.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Seer for the team interview translation, joined by Perfect, Kaz, BDD, Doctom, and Peter on the side of KT Rolster, who will head over to Busan after that 3-0 victory. Congratulations! Thank you. Wow, what a meaningful victory today. Perfect. Congratulations on moving up to round 4. You had such a brilliant performance. How do you feel? You know, I think because there was a lot that I had pent up against BDD, I really wanted to clean up and do well today. And BDD, what do you think? You know, yesterday I didn't think he had a lot of problems or mistakes, to be honest. Score predicted that top will be the key player today, and you had so much impact top. And even your team said, wow, your form is great. What a monster. So what are your thoughts on your own play today? Out of score of 10, I would say maybe 8 to 9. Perfect. You will be Busan bound. And for a chance at your first international stage, what mindset will you have?
이제 2023 그 이제 형들 그 롤드컵 때 부산에 따라가 본 적이 있는데 형들 뛰는 거
You know, I've been to Busan when my youngs were going to the 2023 Worlds, and being with them gave me so much motivation, and I really wanted to make it and be here one day, so I'm looking forward to it. And your finger ceremony and meme are so good. It's so hilarious. We love it. And you know, we are getting a feeling that your fans want to see you reenact it again. Can you reenact it and tell T1 what's on your mind? Look at the camera. Go ahead. And what would you like to say to T1? You know, I learned a lot from Doran. And on the big stage, I've always wanted to face him. So I want to go ahead and show everyone how I can crush him. And next up will be Kaz. After that win, you will head over to Busan. How do you feel? Now it feels great to be able to win today, and it was only up until game 3. That means that, you know, being able to save our strategy is also quite great. Did you happen to see the expert predictions today? Yes, I did. You know, every single expert prediction said KT would win. Did you expect a 3-0? And Nongshim did pretty well in rounds 1 and 2. And I was a little worried, but I think we had a really good feeling since we got that 3-0 yesterday, and all the support from our fans. Just looking at our fans gave me so much energy. And what predictions do you have in the match against T1? You know, against T1 we actually have a lot of losses. And I feel like T1 probably are pretty scared of our performance and our momentum right now. And would you like to say anything to your fans? No, we're going to try even better and harder in Busan. Thank you so much. And next up, we have BDD. You are the POM of today as well. We can really tell that you didn't want to lose. In this match against Nongshim and against Lihans, you have won it all. How do you feel? I'm just really glad that we're able to have a clean victory. And you know, I know Lihans probably came here, tried really hard, so it must feel pretty bad. You haven't dropped a single game since yesterday and today, and you're going strong with a 6-0 score. You're on an 8-game win streak, including that rematch, and it must be summer. How is KT so good? Now my teammates are doing really well, and our spirits are great. So that's why I feel like we're actually playing a lot better than before. And you must win the remaining 2 matches to go to MSI. So what will you focus on, and what mindset will you have? I believe the rest of the matches will be harder against the better teams, and I think we will have to focus hard on the drafts. Dakdam, against the match against Nongshim, you have won it and advanced to round 4. How do you feel? In the LCK Cup, we lost on blue side 3 times, and I think we got a really good revenge today. No, your game 2 was good, and game 3 had some intense back and forth. General Doug, with your solo kill, you completely turned the tide. So when were you sure that you would win? I think in the moment when I got the solo kill, I felt like, whether we do well or not, I had a really good feeling that we would win at that moment. KT's form is peaking, and it's like there's no ceiling. You just keep going up. So how high will you end up? I think we'll keep going up until we are able to get our revenge against all the teams that we have lost against in round 2. Would you like to say anything to T1? Last time when we played in Suwon, I think we disappointed a lot of fans. So I want to get our payback from Suwon. And next we have Peter. You've been on point lately. You must have wanted to show a lot today. So what mindset did you come with? I think it was because I was going up against my foreigner teammates. I was actually pretty nervous. I was pretty shaky when I came to stage today. In game 2, your Tom Kench and Senna made an appearance, and you had such a great showing. Tom Kench is actually undefeated over 4 games in the LCK regular season. What are some strengths of Tom Kench? I think in the laning phase, it's really good when you get to hit your Qs. And in team fights, I think we were able to actually pressure in the front line when I tell them that I have my ult. So we're actually able to go in fearlessly. How will you prepare for the next match? For the next match, I always say this, but today's victory is only for today. And I think we really need to work even harder. And so right now I would say, since our team is doing so well and I have so much faith in my teammates and my Hyungs, I want to make sure that we all do well together. And what is your resolution into round 4? Our next stop is Busan. But our final destination, I would like to appoint it as Canada. And lastly, we will go back to the team captain, BDD. Would you like to say anything to your fans? I feel like I've disappointed a lot of fans on big stages especially, so we really want to try hard to create great memories and great moments for our fans to enjoy. I'm looking forward to your great showing in Busan, and that's the end of the interview with KT Rolster. And back to the space. Thank you.